At my father's retirement dinner, my cousin stood up and said, "Let's all thank Uncle for paying off Ethan's rehab bills last year." I froze mid-smile. "What rehab?" I asked, half laughing. "Ethan never went to rehab." I turned to my wife, Clara, sitting beside me, but her face had gone completely still. I thought it was just confusion, so I said, "Maria, I think you're mistaken. Ethan's never been to any rehab." Maria's glass slipped from her hand. "Oh my God," she whispered. "I thought you knew." "I thought Aunt Clara." She stopped, but the room had already gone silent. My mother set down her fork with shaking fingers. My younger sister looked from me to Clara like she wanted to disappear. Even my uncle cleared his throat and stared into his wine. Maria started backtracking, each word digging deeper. "The one last summer," she stammered. "When you were at that conference in Denver, Mom took him to those sessions. I thought everyone knew." My mother tried to hush her. "This isn't the time," she said, reaching for Clara's hand, but her voice trembled. "Those appointments were private," she added, and the word appointments echoed. I turned to Clara. She kept her eyes on her napkin, twisting it between her fingers. "Rehab?" I said slowly. "For what?" She still didn't look up. "Ethan was 15, I said. "He was fine. He was..." But then it hit me. The long nights Clara said she was tutoring, the sudden mood swings, the whispers between her and my mother when they thought I wasn't listening, the week she came home with red eyes and said she'd been to a parent support group. My stomach tightened. "He's not mine, is he?" I said it quietly, but it was loud enough. Every head lifted at once. Clara's breathing hitched. "You knew?" I asked my mother. Silence. Clara pressed her hands to her face, her shoulders shaking. "Tell me the truth," I said. "You told everyone but me?" She whispered through her fingers. "I didn't want to destroy you." "Destroy me?" I said, my voice breaking. "How could the truth destroy me?" She lowered her hands and met my eyes for the first time that night. "Because," she said, "Ethan isn't your son." The words fell like glass shattering. Chairs scraped. My father stood halfway up, then sat again. Maria started to cry. My uncle muttered something about not meaning to. I looked at Clara. "Whose?" I asked. She looked toward the end of the table where my best friend, Daniel, sat frozen, pale as the tablecloth. I didn't need her to say it. The look on his face told me everything. 13 years, I whispered. 13 years you let me raise him, thinking he was mine? Clara reached for me. "It was one night," she cried. "We were fighting. You'd said you wanted to move away. I thought we were ending." My voice cracked. "And you just let it go on? Every birthday, every school play?" Daniel tried to speak, but no sound came. My father slammed his fist on the table. "Enough," he barked, but no one stopped. Clara sobbed. "I wanted to tell you, but every time I tried, you'd say how proud you were of him, and I couldn't." My hands shook. "So instead you let me be proud of a lie?" She covered her face again, whispering something I couldn't hear. "You stood there at his graduation," I said, smiling, knowing the truth. My voice was hollow now. "Everyone knew. Everyone except me." Daniel finally spoke. "Mark, I'm sorry," he said, his voice trembling. "I never meant for it to happen." I laughed, bitter and dry. "You never meant for it to happen? You came to my house every weekend. You held him in your arms. You called me brother." He looked down at his plate, eyes wet. "Please," Clara said, "don't do this here." I stood up slowly, the room spinning. "You made me give a toast tonight," I said, "about family and loyalty, while you both sat there pretending." I turned toward the door. Behind me, I heard my mother crying, my father cursing under his breath, Maria whispering apologies. Clara called my name, but I didn't stop. At the doorway, I looked back once. "It's not over," I said quietly. "I'll see both of you in court."